We'll start with the microscopic interpretation of temperature. Some gas is contained in a volume. Consider only one atom. It is moving like this. Let's analyze its behavior starting from the gas law, PV equals nRT. In microscopic form, we can write PV equals nKT. Temperature is on the right hand side. To understand the microscopic interpretation of temperature, we need to understand the left hand side term PV. Let's start with P. P is force divided by area. Force is a rate of change of momentum. So F equals change in momentum divided by change in time. Small p here is the momentum and small t is the time. Consider the top wall. The atom goes up and collides with the momentum mv, mass multiplied by the velocity. Its momentum changes to minus mv after the collision. The change of momentum dt is equal to 2mv. Let's calculate the change in time. The atom travels this entire distance and comes back. If the height is L, then the distance traveled is 2L. Since velocity is distance divided by time, we can write this for change in time. Substituting dp and dt back into the equation of force, we get force equals mv squared by L. This is for one atom. For n number of atoms, include n divided by 3. Why? You may get convinced by a simple reason. The atoms move randomly in all three dimensions. At any instant, only 1/3 of the atoms move in one direction, the up and down direction in this case. There are rigorous treatments to arrive at the same conclusion. Fine. Now let's go back to pressure. Force divided by area, L squared. The volume is L cubed. Therefore, when we multiply P and V, the L cubed vanishes. We get N divided by 3 mv squared. Equate it to nKT, N vanishes. The mv squared is a familiar sounding term, isn't it? Make it half mv squared, the kinetic energy. The right hand side becomes 3 halves of kT. This equation tells us the microscopic nature of temperature. Kinetic energy is some constant multiplied by temperature. In other words, temperature is a measure of kinetic energy and nothing else. Fine. Now a few words of caution. The kinetic energy is only an average one based on an average velocity. Why? Because the statistical mechanics says the velocity is not equal for all the atoms. It is usually a distribution like this called the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. That means some atoms have high velocity and some have low velocity. In fact, a spectrum of velocities exists, although the overall temperature is a single value. When we say kinetic energy, then it must be associated with motions, right? We have seen one atom moving between the walls in a straight line. But is it the only kind of motion possible? So what are the motions possible? One is the simple translation motion, which is seen in monoatomic gases like neon. In diatomic gases, we have rotational motion as well. At high temperatures, there can be vibrations. In solids, vibrations are more profound. Then there can be motion of free electrons as well. So the microscopic interpretation of temperature is this. It is a measure of kinetic energy of these motions. Fine. Let's also cover briefly about temperature measurement and the absolute temperature scale. When we say temperature measurement, the common notion of measuring how hot or cold things are is a fairly good starting point. The common temperature scales of degree Celsius or degree Fahrenheit are practical and very useful. But there are issues. Think about the substance or the reference point. For example, mercury is the substance used. Why not something else? In degree Celsius scale, the reference points for 0 and 100 degrees is the freezing point and boiling point of the water respectively. But these points change under different conditions. For example, the boiling point of water is different on top of a mountain where the pressure is less. So we need a more standard temperature scale. That is absolute temperature scale. To understand it, let's recall a couple of classical experiments. The Charles law says at constant pressure, volume and temperature are proportional. The graphical form is here for, let's say, the gas 1. If the gas changes, the slopes of the curves will be different. In Gay-Lussac's law, at constant volume, pressure and temperature are directly proportional. Again, the curves have different slopes for different gases. In these graphs, temperature is in x-axis. So variation in temperature is captured here. Therefore, these experiments can be turned into thermometers called gas thermometers. Let's say we used it and have measured temperatures using different gases. We got these curves of volume versus temperature. What happens if these curves are extrapolated down the temperature? The curves meet at a particular temperature. Same thing happens in pressure versus temperature graph as well. The curves meet and do so exactly at the same temperature. So here is a reference point which is common for all the gases, meaning it is independent of the substance. In degrees Celsius, it is 273.15. The new temperature scale, the Kelvin scale, starts here. It is called the absolute temperature scale. What happens at this temperature? It is the absolute zero temperature. It means all the kinetic energy vanishes. No translation, rotation, or vibration. The atoms are at complete rest at this temperature. See you in the next video.